Hi, this is Justice with Tablet Pro. I've had the Rog Flow Z13, the 2023 model, for about 3 months now, of which 1 month, 40 days or so, it was in repair, in the repair center. Now, outside of that, I wanted to share my experience, what I think about the machine overall, and how it performs for a handful of different tasks. So we're going to go ahead and jump through the different specs and the different things that I like and I don't like. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, if you use a tablet with touch, a stylus, and you want to use your tablet in more places, this is a great channel for you. So subscribe right now and click the notification icon so that you don't miss some of this content that will make you more productive in more places. All right, so let's talk about the device just as a whole. The screen is fantastic. The refresh rate, it's my friend C Butters here on YouTube said it's like looking through a window. And the refresh rate is so nice and crisp. It doesn't look like you're looking at a display. It looks like real life. That is great. It's 500 nits of brightness. I wish it was a little bit brighter, 700-800 or higher, so I could use it outdoors more easily. But I'm also a little bit scared to bring this thing outside with all the ports on it, and I typically go to the beach, so I don't want to get sand inside. The device is not that heavy. It's not as light as a Surface Pro, and so while you're holding it, it's not bad. It's not a light tablet, but it's also not heavy. It's just somewhere in the middle, fairly easy to hold. The kickstand in the back, you open it up, there's that notch cut out. It doesn't really line up in a position that's useful for holding it in like a portrait mode, which is how I would use it while standing. If you're holding the tablet in a landscape mode, also it's about the same. It's not super easy, but if you're sitting is fine. If you're standing, it's okay. Okay, now the GPU inside the one I have is the 4050, while the 4060 has 8 gigabytes of RAM and the 4050 has 6. I honestly have no complaints. It's fantastic to game with. I really like it. If you're playing at 1080p, almost everything plays at 60 frames a second or considerably higher at the highest settings. That's obviously not going to extend to everything. There's certain games that just won't play quite as well, but almost everything plays really nicely. I do not have any complaints on the GPU. Ports, there's 2 ports on here for USB-C, 1 USB-A. There's the MUX switch, that section where you would plug in an external GPU. I've not played with that. Cameron C. Butters here on YouTube has done that already, and I believe it works quite well. Battery life is okay. 2 to 4 hours with normal use, less than that if you're gaming. If you're gaming, it's going to be playing or performing in performance mode, not turbo mode. You can't use turbo mode when it's not plugged in. The Armory Crate has taken me a little bit of time to understand. Basically, I just used these 3 options right here: turbo, performance, and silent. If I'm plugged in, I just use turbo. It's faster. I'm not really concerned about how much wattage it's using. Performance is what I use when it's unplugged. Silent if I'm someplace where I'm just taking notes. Now, this is something that if you're unplugged in performance mode, you might get an hour of gaming time. You can plug it in, but what I found is that every external power source will not push this to turbo mode. You'll be limited to performance mode, which is like a 20 to 30% increase in FPS in turbo mode. It is significantly better than performance, but performance you can play like Gears of War 5, very nice settings, 60 frames a second. It will still do quite decently, and it's nice. Design is sexy. I actually really like it. I took off all the stickers that were on the keyboard and everything, so mine looks just like this, just clean. I like the external option for the micro SD card. That's really nice. The Core i9 processor is very fast. And I will say one little thing I found out recently, that having iCloud installed on my device was screwing up my file explorer, so it was going uber slow. It was absolutely maddening. And uninstalling iCloud fixed that. I don't know if it was a combination of iCloud and OneDrive or what it was, but it was so frustrating, but it's working better now. So be cautious. iCloud might not work well on this device for you. All right, so let's talk about, okay, cooling. I have mine mounted, so I'm not really holding it a whole bunch in my hand. I don't find it to be very hot either way. If I'm drawing and my hand is on the screen, which is the biggest problem with this device, is the drawing experience, I don't find the heat to be the problem. Okay, it's not that loud. I'm recording this video with the sound here. The Surface Laptop Studio had louder fans. This is definitely quieter, and the silent mode is great if you need it to be silent. Yes, the display is nice. Woo woo. For Dolby Vision, this is not an HDR display. You can do HDR specific things, but the display itself is not HDR. I don't know what makes it a full HDR display. This one is limited to very specific situations. Okay, stylus support. Let's talk about the stylus and the performance there. Here's the biggest problem with this device. The palm rejection. So I made a sock glove, which works. It works. You could use a more stylish sock than this one, but I find that if I'm putting my palm on the screen, I'm inside a OneNote, and I'm trying to write here. So let's use the text pen. I'm trying to write something. You'll notice that went right down here where my palm was. So this makes it almost unusable. You have to hold your hand, your palm above the screen. I don't know why this is so bad. I think that there's a setting, something that could be done that would improve this dramatically. I believe this is using the same protocol as the Surface Pro line, and it's using Microsoft Pen Protocol 2.0. So I don't understand why palm rejection is so bad. Maybe there's a setting, something that they turned off for one reason or another. I don't know. If I'm in a drawing program like Rebel 6 Pro, which is my favorite, I like Rebel 6 Pro, I like Clip Studio Paint. Those two are the main ones I like. Photoshop is great, just bloated, and I don't like the forced subscription model. Okay, so here, if I'm in a program like Rebel, it's super snappy, very responsive. It works well with the radio menu from Tablet Pro, so I can switch between tools. It does a very good job if you're doing just that. However, if you want to use pen and touch together, here, these over here don't respond as quickly. They're a little bit slow in adjusting. There's a lag, there's a delay. It's a bit frustrating to use compared to a Surface device. However, if you've never used Tablet Pro in the past, then probably the overall benefit will still be significant for you, but I don't find it as good, as clean, as easy, or as fast as some of the other tablets I've used. This over here, simultaneous pen and touch, has some issues. Palm rejection has some issues. Do I think it's a viable drawing machine? Yes, absolutely, I do. Do I think that it will help to have a sock glove? Yeah, and it's a bit uncomfortable. I'm not someone who likes extra stuff on my body, on my hands. I don't wear rings, I don't wear bracelets or necklaces or anything, except for the giant clock one with the full-size clock. It's good. It's not as good as the Surface Pro 8, Surface Pro 9, Surface Laptop Studio. It is still pretty good. The audio is, when I first got it, was really bad, very, very quiet. My phone was twice the volume level. It has somehow improved. I'm not sure what it was, what's different. It's not good. It's on the poor side, but there's going to be compromises. This price up here, $17.49, for what this is actually a very competitive price. There's going to be a compromise somewhere in there. But the audio recording, I really don't think very highly of. All-day power, I would highly doubt. It does charge fairly quickly. Wi-Fi, internet, all's fine. Micro SD card reader is fine. The gaming, like I said, is very fast. The big complaint I have on accessories is they have to be proprietary, and they don't provide them. So I don't, like, I want to have two power supplies, one connected to my TV in the other room so that I can game in turbo mode, and the other one so that when I'm using my computer in the bedroom, all I'm doing is I'm just taking my Z13 and I'm docking it over in the living room so I can game. Like, you can game really well. I have a Bluetooth keyboard. Watch my accessory guide, by the way, to learn all about these. I have a Bluetooth keyboard, and then I have the Flow Z13 plugged into the TV using USB-C to HDMI adapter, and it's great. It's super fun, very easy to use in that situation, and it does a great job. However, the power supply from a non-ASUS made power supply, it won't kick you up to turbo mode. You're going to be limited. So I bought a 130 watt power supply from Dell, and it won't work. And everything I've read in the Discord channel for the Flow Z13 is that it just does not use all the power. You're capped at like 65 watts as opposed to 100 watts even. I don't know about the 2022 power supply, which is available, but the 2023 power supply, the 130 watt one, I can't find it anywhere, and I haven't found it. And I've asked and looked, and I'm not sure how to get another one. Customer support for ASUS is, in my opinion, extremely bad. They are nice. They're respectful and polite most of the time, but very incompetent. And I'm not saying that as a insult. I think is accurate. I think they need more training. I think they need someone who can help them get all their information into one place. I was told by a number of people one story, then a different story, and no one was able to find notes, and they weren't able to look from their one support group to, which is called like CEO support, and the other support group, they couldn't see the information, or that's what I was told. It was bad. Customer support was bad. So if you can buy this from some place that has their own customer support, great. Just realize you are taking a risk with this machine that you are not taking with a Microsoft product. The Microsoft Surface line, their support is phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. Their turnaround for getting stuff back. This is my experience. I've had probably 15 support issues over the years with Microsoft. Yes, their machines break, but I was able to get a replacement either before sending in the old one, or it was sent to me within a couple days, not 40 days later, with a bunch of lies and a bunch of misinformation. So overall, what do I think the Rog Flow Z13? I think it's a little bit of a gamble. It's fun to game on. Drawing experience is good, not great. It could be better. If you're using the Z13 for art and note-taking and gaming, will you be happy? Mostly happy. I think mostly happy. If it breaks, will you be happy? Probably not. So keep that in mind. Price, I think, is pretty fair. I want ASUS to succeed. I think they have some work to do to patch some areas. I have my own company. I understand it takes some work. Not everything is perfect. And I appreciate when people give me clear feedback. Hey, this didn't work. This was wrong. This was broken. This was frustrating, so that I can refine and improve. All right, what do you think about the Z13? What questions do you have that I didn't answer? Go ahead and put those in the comment section. If you guys are buying a Z13, I will put a link in the description for the Amazon purchase. I do get affiliate commissions for that, so please use that link if you do. And check out my accessory guide. There's a lot of good information there from someone who does all sorts of unique things with this device. So you're going to want to watch that whole video, and I'll link to that in the description. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay creative and have a wonderful day.